The design features of the hinge assemblies on doors are also important to understand. There's two basic varieties. They all use some form of a bushing and pin assembly, typically speaking, but some of them have springs oriented in them and some other elements in which the hinge assemblies are much more structurally girthy and more difficult to mitigate with cutters. One of the typical rules of thumb or verbiages that you'll often hear is don't spread what you can cut. With that being said, if you understand the design features of the hinge assemblies, sometimes spreading can be actually a little more advantageous if you can attack the weak points or the inherent blow apart areas of those hinge assemblies. So on bushing and pin assemblies, if we're going to attack them from the fender side, we're typically going to cut them. We would skin this fender out. We'd buy ourselves a little bit of gap or margin to insert our cutters into this space right here, and then we would go ahead and try and shear those hinges with a heavy hydraulic cutter. If we're attacking from the inside, we may often elect to use spreaders. If you have a bushing and pin assembly, if you can place your spreader tips between the pin and the A-pillar, then when you spread that hinge assembly, it's going to cause that pin to bow in or expand just enough for the tips of the pin to draw within the bushing, thus allowing that hinge to separate, and you don't actually have to completely separate the entire member.